Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Griha. We're now getting some more breaking news on the broadcast, and this is to do with the summons to Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal by the Enforcement Directorate on November the 2nd. Now we've been told that Aam Aadmi Party's legal team is currently mulling over legal options with regards to these summons. And the legal team is exploring all possible options regarding challenging of these summons before the court. Now, if we take a look at this entire case, there are only two options that are there with the Aam Aadmi Party and in turn with Arvind Kejriwal. They can either knock onto the doors of the Supreme Court or the Delhi High Court, because the Supreme Court is going to be sending them back to a lower court, in this case the Delhi High Court. And that is the only option right now before the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. However, we are given to understand that no final call has been taken on the matter as of now. As far as challenging the summons are concerned, there are certain technicalities which are associated, considering this is just a summon for Arvind Kejriwal. He's not been named and accused in this particular case. Neither has the party, the Aam Aadmi Party, been named and accused in this particular case. Let me take this across to my legal correspondent Ananya to offer more perspective on the story. Ananya, the possible options, it is only the Delhi High Court that the Aam Aadmi Party and in turn Arvind Kejriwal can approach. What is the next step really if they are in turn indeed mulling over legal options to basically take stock of what is to be done before these summons to Arvind Kejriwal?
Well, definitely, Griya, the only two options that are there with Arvind Kejriwal is to go before the Delhi High Court or approach, in fact, the Supreme Court of India in this particular case. Though the biggest challenge that is there at this point of time is the race against time, because the Arvind Kejriwal has to appear day after tomorrow before the agencies, and half the day of October 31st, that is today, is almost over. So whether the courts would entertain it in such an urgent manner, though there are provisions for urgent hearing in this particular case, but whether or not that would be granted is something. And a big risk that the Aam Aadmi Party could face at this point of time in this particular case when you are going to challenge the summons is that if at all the agency does not feel and the court dismisses these summons, then you're more liable for a coercive action. The ED could get a more free hand in this particular case, and then troubles can be more mounting. But at the same point of time, though the risk is high, if at all you are able to secure a relief from from the court itself, then definitely this can go out in the long run. If at all you have an interim protection, then definitely that could be a very good thing for Arvind Kejriwal. But at this point of time, the Aam Aadmi Party legal team is concerning the top legal minds of the country. They are mulling over the options as to whether or not these summons should be challenged or not. Their first question is whether or not these summons have to be challenged. Then the next question is at to what forum are these summons has to be challenged, whether it's the Delhi High Court, whether it's the Supreme Court. So they are mulling over it, though there is no final decision as of now, is what our sources have told us. But very categorically, this is a very risky job to go for. And if at all the favourable order comes in, then well and good. But if at all that does not come in, that might mount trouble for the Delhi Chief Minister. And in fact, the legal team would not like to take any kind of such a big risk at this point of time.
Ananya, thank you so much. So the cons are more than the pros in this particular case, if at all Arvind Kejriwal does decide to seek legal options to try and do away with these summons that have been sent out to him by the Enforcement Directorate.